Video number 43 for cello and bass students. And in this video, we are going to begin to learn what's called vibrato. Now, vibrato takes a very long time to develop. It takes the majority of the year doing just a little bit of the exercises every single day. And what vibrato is, you probably have seen some advanced players doing this or professional musicians. It's when they play a note, a lot of my students just call it that shaky thing that people do. It just enhances the tone quite a bit. So here's some notes without vibrato. Now with vibrato, listen to the difference. Okay? Now, there are several phases for me to teach you this vibrato. And the first phase will be using the Easter eggs that you received in your bag of extra supplies. If you're one of my students, you should have received one of these. If you're not one of my students and you're watching this, try to find something similar to this, or if you have an Easter egg, wonderful, great. What I've done is I filled it, or not filled it, but put it about a third full of just some dry rice. Okay, you can use dry beans, that would work as well. Something that's going to make a good shaking sound. I think rice is probably the best. Now, the motion for cello and bass is going to be the same, so I'm doing this both in one video. Once you've put the rice in there, then I would recommend taping it shut. You can just use Scotch tape, that's fine. Painter's tape is fine. Masking tape is fine. I don't know that I'd use duct tape because that might make it a little bit sticky. Packing tape might work as well. This is because there's a decent chance you might drop it or it might fall off a table and you got rice everywhere. So I just recommend that you go ahead and do that. Now, when you're doing these vibrato exercises, I would like to get in your normal sitting position. You don't need to have your cello or bass with you. Basses, you're on a stool. Cellos, you are on your chair. And when you're holding this egg, the reason I like to use an egg is because of the shape of it. We still want to maintain our curved fingers, okay? So this is going to help us do this. All right, so here's how I want you to hold it. Think about this. When you're holding your instrument, you're not gripping all the way around the neck. None of this touches here. So we're gonna do the same thing here. So you're gonna hold it, just let your fingers curve over it, and then your thumb's gonna be behind it, okay? Nice little bent thumb right here, okay? Make that C shape, all right? And then what I want you to do is just put your thumb right up on your chest right here, right up in front of your shoulder, okay? And then you're just gonna go rock it back and then go forward, back, and then forward. And when you go slow, it doesn't make a lot of sound, and that's okay. The most important thing is that we have a good shape and your elbow is up, just as if you were playing on your instrument, okay? Now the difference is your hand's gonna be eventually moving different places, but for now, let's keep the thumb put up against your shoulder, in front of your shoulder, and you're gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down. Now how fast should you go? So a couple ways you can monitor this. My first recommendation is to use your metronome, and if you can put eighth notes on it, wonderful. I'm going to start it at the speed of 45, and I'm going to have eighth notes clicking. If I don't have eighth note capability on my metronome, then I'm just going to do 90, all right? Because that's twice as fast. That's like eighth notes, right? Okay, so watch. I'm going to start off with a slow speed. I'm going to start off with 2 clicks for each motion. Go up, down, up. Where's your elbow? Down, up, down, up. Now go twice as fast. Up, down, up, down. Remember, you're rolling it. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the motion that I'm doing. Notice it comes from the elbow. Now I'm going to go twice as fast again. Up, 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 up. So what are we watching out for right now? We're making sure our arm is not down here. We're making sure that our fingers are curved around the egg, okay? And we're making sure we're staying on beat. Up, 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 up. Now you're going to start to hear it shake. Now you want to make sure you're up on the clicks. Click, 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 up, 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 up. Now I recommend that you do this for about a minute every day. And honestly, that can get a little bit boring, just listening to the metronome and clicking. Okay, it's going to take about 6 weeks of doing this before we will move on to the second phase of vibrato. And so if you want to vary things up, you can also use music to do this. Now, this song that I'm going to play for you is super old, okay? It's older than I am. That's how old it is. I like to use music with my students just because the metronome gets a little boring when you do that every single day, okay? But the music I choose old music because, well, a lot of the new music has bad words in it. And so as a teacher, I can't have that, right? So this song is called Fire. So it has the siren at the beginning. But watch, we're going to go up, down, up, down. And turn sideways so you can see the elbows. See how it's rolling? Up, down, up, down. My fingers are curved. Now I'm going to go twice as fast. And up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This should go without saying, but this be in your left hand. Okay, now twice as fast. Up, 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 up. Okay? Now again, if you don't have the music or you don't know which songs you should use, because you don't know what speed it should be at, just use your metronome. Again, starting at the speed of 45 with eighth notes on. And the slow speed is up for 2 clicks, down, up for 2 clicks, down, then twice as fast, up, down, 1 click on each, and then up on the clicks, up, 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 up. Make sure elbow is up and you're rotating from your elbow. And it's going in an arched motion. That's what we want, okay? Thumb is bent, nothing is touching here. You've got your C shape, okay? Nothing's touching here. Fingers are curved. Keep doing this every day, about a minute every day, for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then we'll move on to phase 2. But every day you should be doing this. It's another one of those things. You've got to create a habit. I would like for you to get faster and faster each day. Start at 45. By the end of 6 weeks, try to be at about 70. And then we'll be ready for phase 2.